My first 6 videos went viral on a brand new channel. This is my channel, Couch Co-op. I use it a lot because I can show the results from it. I can't show that for all my clients, unfortunately. But I'm going to be explaining and breaking down exactly how my first 6 videos went viral using a sneaky little trick in ChatGPT. So I've gone over the strategy a few times. One of the things that I always kind of like skip over because it's really like nerdy, but it's really important, is talking about viewer profiles and how you can manipulate them. So if you understand who your ideal target viewer is, you can make content for that specific viewer in such a case that it almost always guarantees success. I'm not gonna say almost always guarantees success, but you can stack the deck in your favor. So in this case, I have a pretty strong conviction that there was a gap in the niche of video game essays, and I kind of wanted to target that, where a lot of the video game essays, people like Reykjavik or Actman or any other, there's millions of them, have done like pretty well. And from there, I was able to be like, okay, hey, like, listen, I know they do well, and I can clearly see from a viewer perspective and a creator perspective, not a lot of people are talking about FPS games. So we just kind of spammed FPS games early on, and then eventually we wanted to build up an audience, which we did, of 16,000 subscribers in 6 videos. And then I did some sneaky little stuff with ChatGPT to predict, exactly what was going on, and then it will be pretty easy to do. So I'm gonna be showing you something, and it is kind of cool. So let me go to 1 of 10 real fast. I'm gonna log into my other monitor, and it'll be pretty easy to cook. 1 of 10. Log in just so you guys don't see this. All the secrets here. All right, so here's my 1 of 10 account. If I go to my tracked channels, I'll have a video game essay channel right here, and then I am going to load in to one of these channels. Actman will be pretty good, so I'm going to open up Actman channel, and I am going to open up. Who is another one? I'm going to find one more real fast. No, I need a good one. Yeah, going indie is a great one. Okay. So from there, I'm going to click on Going Indie. I'm going to click on their channel. And the best way to do this, by the way, is you want to build up a lot of these data points. You want to figure out all the competitors potentially in the niche you're going into or in your current niche. And then you're going to go down to videos. You're going to go score to popular like this. And then what you're going to do is you are going to want to do this. You're going to want to screenshot your top performing videos, just a row like this. And then come to ChatGPT here. I have a custom model for this, and maybe I'll release it if you guys want. But if I go to the viewer profile builder, I can actually figure out what my target viewer profile is by putting that in there, and it should spit out my ideal viewer profile. And then from there, I can kind of fine tune the model to figure out what exactly makes a lot of sense in terms of what future videos I should do based on this specific content. And I'll show you that as well. So I have that, and then I'm also going to go to Actman as well. I think this will be a pretty good one. Hopefully it'll be a pretty good one, because I know his content is pretty varied. If I go to popular, yeah, awesome, nice. So I'm going to go to popular, and I'm going to go down here, and I'm just going to go cook on this one, just like that. And then do the same for this screenshot as well. I highly recommend using ChatGPT for certain automations. Things like this is actually really good for. And also, in this case, it's talking about, going through competitors. I have actually all my competitors here, or a lot of competitors here. And again, it actually does a pretty good job of predicting the viewer profile based on this prompt. And if you want to use my viewer profile builder or profile engine, if you want, maybe I will fine tune it and I'll release it to the public. And you guys can guys copy and paste channels videos, and it'll spit out all this super interesting stuff. And from there, it spits out these things, and then from there I can figure out, based on the data, what videos / games would you recommend covering for the highest chance of success. Based on the 2 viewer profiles you made. And then I can basically just ask it, and in essence, it can give you a decent idea or theory as to like what videos you should post. So obviously, yeah, Call of Duty videos are doing well. And hey, who would have thought, if I go back to the Couch Co-op channel, YouTube channel, and I go there, videos, Call of Duty is one of our best videos. So there you go. Fallout, that's another pretty good one, obviously. And then, there's some interesting things there. Maybe I can ask it to spit this out into a table. And then, let us see. and I'm just gonna ask it to put it on a table. A really great way to truncate all this is ask it to put it on a table, and then you get a really nice, easily visual here. And it'll also give me the reason, which is quite nice. So yeah, this is it's a pretty good way to kind of come up with some certain things. And there's some also other fun stuff you can do with ChatGPT. I'm not going to do it here. But yeah, I mean, some of these things that we've actually talked about, like we're definitively going to do a Fallout video eventually. We're not too sure when we're going to do it, but I mean, it would have been the best to do it during the Fallout franchise series, but we didn't. Talking about anticipated games are actually going to be pretty good. And then also like gaming cultures and trends as well. So yeah, this is a cool little way to figure out who your target audience could be, what content might be applicable to them. I want to do these one-to-one, obviously. This is more of like hey, like this could work. Here's why it could work. And then from there, you want to, do your own research and figure out if there's any gaps in the market or any things that have been missed that you can double down on. And yeah, this is a quick little way that I do some cool stuff. It allows me to, do things really easily. For example, if I go to like, let's say, Eman Ghazi, for example, if I wanted to get into like the men's self-help space, I can go to Eman Ghazi. I can go to videos. I could do popular. I could come down here. I could just be like, okay, this is like, Eman Ghazi. Let me just go break down some of this stuff right here and see how it goes. Screenshot, plug it in here, and then build a viewer profile for this channel. And then, just go there and click send. And it'll be pretty easy, straightforward to figure out what makes sense. Yeah, this is my viewer profile builder engine. It's a great way to test the market and who it's for. Again, it's very surface level stuff, but I think it's actually pretty helpful for most creators. It also should spit out a total addressable market potential. So if I go here, like range of tens of millions, and like that's probably the upper echelon if you get max saturation. I know Actman, for example, does get max saturation, so like 10 million might be the max for a video in some case. But it's pretty good just to figure out what makes a lot of sense here. You don't want to necessarily be like, oh, I'm gonna go super hard on this, and then you get like some not great stuff. I also think it'll do it here for going indie. Yeah, in the range of tens of millions. Likely a little bit less. You can always kind of like narrow it down a little bit, and then again just kind of did it here for Eman Ghazi. And then, again, tens of millions. You can roughly figure out, more precise TAM by looking at market caps, and then, kind of, making, your own KPIs. Like, market cap of like Eman Ghazi is like, let's say 8 million. And you can, figure that out across the rest of the niche. But yeah, besides the point, I'm now going to get into the weeds of it. Cool little tool I built out that I think might be useful for you guys, and definitely something you guys might want to try out as well before going into niche, or if you're already in a niche, figuring out the exact viewer profile of target and what makes them watch, and what you can do to best, target them in terms of videos and video angles and kind of interests. I hope this was helpful, and I thought this was a cool little thing to share.